Tonight's live is going to be a good one. I've been looking forward to this, and it's going to be one of my most real run, honest accounts of the last 12 months, specifically about the Video Skills Lab membership, which is my $9 a month membership where I teach you how to build a profitable live video strategy. And we just turned 1 year old. I've been running it the last 12 months, and this live is really about giving you the behind the scenes look at how I created it and like what went into creating this low ticket membership, what goes into selling this membership, and what goes into running it every single month. And so I really haven't talked about this much. This is the first time ever like I'm publicly sharing this on social media. I'm really looking forward to it. And I hope you are looking forward to it as well. If you're here watching live, you can drop me a hashtag live, or if you're watching the replay, you can drop me a hashtag replay. And I see we've got Jeanette here. I see we've got Leanne here. And the more you guys like and comment on this video, the more other people who are looking for it are going to be able to find us as well. So definitely show some love on this video. And we're going to jump in and get started. So first off, you might be wondering, like, if you're new to this platform, you might be wondering, like, what the heck is the Video Skills Lab? And I'm going to share my screen real quick. But the Video Skills Lab is a $9 a month membership where I help you build a profitable live video strategy, right? And it comes with, I'll put the sales page here. It comes with this entire library of content, which is right here. It's this awesome, huge library, which is incredible. We've got 2 amazing coaching calls a month. I do weekly live streams answering questions in the group, and we have this amazing community. So, when I started the Video Skills Lab, there really wasn't a lot of low ticket options that had personalized support. So like, it's not just $9 a month for content. It's me as your like personal video strategist that's helping you every single day, every single week on these coaching calls, which I think is pretty cool. So that's just a little background into like what it actually is if you are new. And if you don't know too, I'm doing a really special like birthday sale because we are turning 1 year old. Like I said, I'm going to go more in detail on this at the end because I want to get straight into the content. But if you sign up for the Video Skills Lab by tomorrow, 4/14 at 11:59, I'm giving you these 4 bonus trainings, right? And these are never before seen trainings. I have not publicly published these, right? So we have trainings on how to use live guest interviews. We have a mindset training for bringing the fun back to video. I've got a training on how I sold a $3 Black Friday offer and it generated close to 20K in sales. I have a video on 5 strong calls to action. It's about 4 hours of extra content that I'm giving away in this goodie bag. So again, I'll share more about this at the end, but the link to sign up and join the Skills Lab is in the description of this video. And again, if you sign up on 4/14, you'll get this gift bag too. All right, so let's get into like the actual main meat content. So how I'm going to kind of break this down is number 1, we're going to talk about some of the lessons from like creating the membership itself and how I went about it. After that, we're going to talk about like the biggest lessons from selling this membership, what worked, what hasn't. And then the last thing is like hosting and retention, really what goes into doing this every week. And this will be a little bit different from some of my past lives. Like really what I did to prep for this was just I wrote down all of the most impactful things that I have learned. So some of it's going to be more in depth. Some of it's just going to be rapid fire, like things that I have taken away from it. So if you have questions as we go, let me know as we move through this. So first up, let's start with the like actual creation piece of this membership. And I can't tell you how long I actually sat with this idea for. Like I really just ruminated and mulled it over and was like, do I really need to do something low ticket? Is this something that is like going to be worth my time? I'm not someone who likes to add more things. I'm not someone who likes to just like have a million offers. I have got 2 offers, right? Like I've got the Video Skills app and I've got the accelerator, right? And at the time I just had the accelerator and my one-to-one coaching that I was doing. I was like, do I really need kind of another thing? But really I wanted to have something that was accessible for people regardless of the size of their bank account, where they could get some help from me regardless of, if they didn't have money to afford like a more high ticket program. So, one of the most resistance that I really had with creating this too was I was like, is this going to be a lot of work to create? Because when people join a membership, like I think there's this expectation that there's going to be a lot of content, there's a lot of established stuff, and it felt really, really heavy for me, right? And I was like, I don't want to do this. So here's what I ended up doing. And I don't know if many of you know this, but it actually only took me 1 week to build the Video Skills Lab. That's it. It literally, I spent 1 week building it and then I launched it, right? It was the thinking about it that took a long time. I spent months thinking about whether it was the right decision, but once I had committed to it, it only took a week, which I think is like pretty crazy. Like it was like obviously I worked a lot that week building it, but it was fast, right? Which I think most people don't think about. Creating a membership can be a quick thing. But the question that I asked myself was, if I was going to make this light and I was going to make this easy and I was going to have fun with it, what would this look like? And it's a question that I ask myself all the time now too. Like whenever I feel a lot of resistance around building something, I'm like, how do I just make this fun? How do I make this light? How do I make this less pressurized? Right? How do I just make this a little bit chiller? Right? And so what I ended up doing was I ended up taking some of the trainings I did in the accelerator, not very many, like a couple of those. I took some of the lives that I have done. I took some of the other, private trainings that I had done and workshops and challenges. And I basically looked at all of the content I'd ever created across my business and picked the stuff that would fit. And I organized it into a curriculum, right? So I did a little editing of it and organizing of it. And that was the longest thing. I was like, okay, how do I make this make sense so that people are coming in and they have a very clear idea of like, what they're supposed to be doing, right? So that was the biggest thing. When I asked myself, like, how do I make this feel light and easy? I was like, when I'm starting, let me just use what I want to create. But here's the thing. The content in the Video Skills Lab right now, like I'm going to share my screen again. This is the library of content. There is so much that I have added into this that is specifically just for the Video Skills Lab, right? Like you can see, like I've added like success missions. I added a confident on camera challenge. I've added a lot more stuff that's specific to this membership, but here's how I made it light and easy. What I ended up doing is most of the new content that I added, I was like, all right, I am going to grow with my audience. So right now, when I add new content, for the most part, I'm doing it on the coaching calls. I am doing it live with them. And so as the membership's growing, as my audience is growing, right, the content is growing too. So the topics that I pick every single month, the 2 coaching calls a month that we do, are content that are gaps that are being filled in the membership, are stuff that's going to provide value. And it's me growing with the audience. And it was how I was able to make this experience so much lighter. Like, for example, tomorrow, like I said, we do 2 coaching calls a month. Tomorrow, we have a coaching call on how to use live video to basically host incredible flash sales and boost your sales. And I'm going through my entire flash sales process. Right now I'm running a flash sale for the Video Skills Lab. So I'm going to break down the videos that I use to sell. I'm going to break down the strategies that I'm using. And this will be another module that gets added to the content. Right? So let me know if this is making sense to you so far. You can just give me a yes in the chat. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me see if we have questions. I see Suzanne's here. Hey, Suzanne. And Need's here. I see Trisha's here too on YouTube. Very cool. Awesome. And let me know too, are you someone who is selling a low ticket membership? Are you someone who is thinking about it? I meant to ask that before, but here it is now. So let me know if that's something you have been actively thinking about. So again, I hope that what you're getting from this creation part of it is that if something is feeling like really heavy, like ask yourself, how can I make this light and easy? And how can I grow with my audience? How can I create as we go? And here's the thing, like, because it's a lower ticket price point, the fact that I even had as much content as I did, people were like blown away by how much was there already. And then, you know, the live support on top of that and the other things, like it didn't matter that there wasn't this entire robust library. The fact that there was that much at all was, you know, something that stood out, I think. So that's the first piece. Let me know if you have questions on like what the process was like for like actually creating this membership, what went into this. Again, I'm here to answer them. And we're going to move to the second piece to this, and that is actually selling it, right? Because, you know, you spend all this time creating something. It's not just for your health, right? You want to actually get some sort of result from it. So I actually have a bunch of stuff kind of to say. This is where I was like, all right, we're going to do a little bit of a lightning round here, like some of the stuff that's really worked well, like over this last 12 months. I got to look at the exact number of like people who have signed up, but it's been hundreds of people. There's hundreds of people right now that are active in the group, but like it's been probably close to like 500, I think, in the last 12 months, I would say, that went in and out of the actual membership. So let's talk about what I did when it was ready, because I did something crazy. And actually, some of you probably remember, if you have been in my ecosystem for a while, you probably do remember this crazy $3 promotion that I did. So right now the Video Skills app is $9. It's staying at $9. It's never going back to $3. I'm not planning on raising it right now. But when I had this thing that I wanted to go live with, I was like, all right, I want to do something insane. I want to make a big stink. I want this to be like an absolute no-brainer. And I think $9 already is a no-brainer offer. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to go even crazier because I want this to be like amazing. So I ended up doing, for 30 days, I did a $3 lifetime rate, where if you signed up in the first 30 days of the launch of the membership, you would get to keep this $3 rate. And I still have people from over a year ago who are still in it, paying the actual $3 rate. And two sides to this. Number one, I had to be totally transparent. Like I said, I was going to be transparent. There were a lot of people who were like really like hating on me, that were like, why is it only $3? And like, you're devaluing what you're doing. And is there really any value in this? It's $3. Like a lot of criticism. But here's the thing. And I honestly believe it was one of the smartest things that I did to create this incredible energy in the group. Because in the first 72 hours, I think I had close to 50 people join. By the end of the 30 days, I had over 100 people that had joined this. And my biggest thing was, okay, these first founding members, it's not about the money, right? Like 100 something people joining, it was like 300 something bucks a month. It's not bad, but it's not like what's going to pay you the rent, right? So for me, I was like, okay, I want to think big picture. I want to think long term about this. And for me, the most important thing was this thing I like to call founding member energy, right? Where these founding members brought such an amazing energy. The worst thing that can happen is people join a membership and it's sort of flat and no one's there and no one's participating. And then they get buyer's remorse. And they're like, oh, well, why would I stay in this? Like, there's no community here. People aren't participating. There's no motivation, right? Let me know if that's ever happened, where you've joined something and just nobody was there for it. And it's just sort of awkward. And you're like, did I make the wrong decision on this? Even though it's $3, like, I'm not going to continue to pay for this. And for me, I was like, okay, I want to bring that energy because I knew if I was going to get that founding member energy, then what was going to happen is they were going to refer more people, right? And it was going to get shared, and like people were going to stick around and refer other people. And that is what ended up happening, right? Where I have not, actually, I did one time, and I'm planning on doing having a paid strategy soon. I think for like 2 weeks I ran ads and I wanted to tweak things, so I stopped doing it. But this membership has truly been like organic. Like all the promotion of it so far pretty much has been organic, aside from like some sponsorships that I've done. Yeah, but anyway, the point is that that founding member energy was just like so amazing. That founding member energy was like awesome. So that's the biggest thing. So if you're thinking about starting a low ticket membership, you don't have to do $3, right? But do think about how can you bring that level of excitement and make those founding people feel really, really special, right? So this is super, super important. So that's the first piece to selling, the $3 for 30 days promo to get that founding member energy. And I just ignored all the hate that I was getting because like so many of those people are still around, have referred other people, are now affiliates because of that like special feeling. Okay. Second thing I want to talk about with the selling of this membership, and I think is really an underrated thing that I have seen people do, but not always well. And that is free trials. So one of my favorite things to do right now is to have, whenever people join one of my challenges or workshops, I love to give away like a 30-day free trial to actually try it out. You got to put a credit card on file. Like it's actually got to be like a valid account. It doesn't charge anything. But that has been such an amazing way to, number one, get some people into the membership, but also when I do run like challenges and workshops and events, before the event even starts, like I have got people who are already binging my content. Like the last challenge I ran, I had so many people join the video skills lab and we're like, oh, I've already watched everything. Like, where's the link to the next program? Like, I don't even need to do the challenge. Just send me on to the next thing. Right? So that's a really amazing part. And I see Suzanne asking, do members from the $9 a month go into your higher paid program? Yes, absolutely. So like those people who are coming in, especially the free trial people from like challenges and workshops, like there's people who like don't even need to go through that nurturing because like the membership is doing the nurturing for them and they're getting that next step, right? So for me, like whether you join the higher ticket stuff or not, like you're getting serious value. But like if you do want to continue, and there are people who are like, I do want to continue, then it's just such an amazing way to build that that trust. Okay. So far for the sales piece, and I see there's a bunch of questions. I'm going to answer them at the end of this. So again, $3 for 30 days founding member energy. Free trials have been like such an amazing part of selling this membership. And like the downsides, just to be transparent, are like there are sometimes people will take advantage. Like I've had a couple of people that are now like on my banned list who will just keep signing up, canceling and keep signing up. So it's not like a perfect system. There's always negatives, but the benefits like far outweigh like any types of negatives that there are. Okay, cool. Next piece, another lesson from selling this membership is just because something is cheap, right? $9 I think is pretty cheap. Just because something is cheap doesn't necessarily mean that it's quote unquote easy to sell, right? I think a lot of times cheap is perceived as like there isn't a lot of value that's there. Cheap is perceived as, you get what you pay for, right? And you hear that a lot. And I think that was a big roadblock that I'm continuously working on overcoming. And I do that in a lot of ways by sharing the behind the scenes and using testimonials. And there's so much that kind of goes into that, right? And for me, like $9 is a no-brainer, and it is. But I think another thing too with memberships is when they're recurring. I think people have this anxiety that I'm just gonna forget to cancel, and I'll just have this thing on, and it'll just continue to charge me. And that's the thing, like, you are responsible for canceling, but it is like, if you're thinking about starting a membership, it is a hurdle that I think you do have to address and be very transparent about, like, what the actual terms are. So for me, it's, you can cancel at any time, and just making sure people have the right understanding, the right terms, all that kind of stuff. Cool. Okay, we're gonna keep going. So like I said, some of this is gonna be just rapid fire. So again, we did $3 promo for 30 days with the founding member energy, free trials. Just because something's cheap doesn't mean it's necessarily easy to sell. There's still objections and preconceived notions and things like that you have to get past. And the last thing that I want to talk about too is, like, if you are going to start a low ticket membership and you have other offers, like, for example, I have my Video Marketing Accelerator, which is my higher ticket program that is basically where you get access to me 3 to 4 times a week on Zoom, and where I teach you how to run, like, the go-to live video events. So, like, challenges and workshops and weekly live streams. So all of that stuff is there. The content is not the same as the Video Skills Lab. It's completely different. Is there a little bit of crossover? Like, yes, I talk about lives in the accelerator. Yes, the Video Skills Lab has lives, but it's a totally different process. It's a different content. It's different system. It's different level of support. And here's the thing. When you are running events or when you're running ads and you have people who are in your ecosystem or new to your ecosystem, I should say, even if it's super clear to you, right? You're like, okay, I've got 2 offers. And for me, I'm like, oh, it's super clear. I've got 2 offers, right? The Video Skills Lab is just for live video, right? And it's some support. The accelerator is like a ton of support and covers challenges, workshops, discovery calls, live videos, a ton of support, access to me like 20 times a month on Zoom, right? It's totally different, even though there's only 2. Another barrier, I think, has been differentiating the 2 offers when people are new to the ecosystem, right? Some people are totally on it, right? They read every single email, they watch every video in depth, but there's some people who, like, aren't taking the time to do that. And when you're marketing 2 things, it means that, like, you really have to differentiate the 2 and really be good at differentiating the 2, because you don't want to confuse people. So again, I told you I was going to be real and honest. As soon as I started selling in my challenges and workshops, the Video Skills Lab, along with the accelerator, a lot more questions came up about, like, what the differences are kind of between the 2. So for me, the biggest learning is, 1, like, really make sure your positioning is clear, right? Really make sure your offers are differentiated enough and that you can never explain the difference between the 2 enough times, right? Like, you really want to make sure that's clear, because if it's not, 1, people might not be getting in on the right offer, and 2, and it might impact, your ability to, like, bring people into the different offers that you do have. So let me know in the comments. Let me know if this is making sense to you so far, if this is helping so far. But that is like another, I think, a hurdle that you do have to kind of work through when you have these 2, you have many offers, you're differentiating offers. Okay, so I'm going to look through the comment section here and see what questions that we have. So I see Suzanne asking, where was the hate coming from? Honestly, it wasn't real hate. It was like loving doubt. It was like my family who was like, why are you only asking people for $3? That seems crazy. Or it was even like people would respond to my emails and be like, I don't get it. Like, this seems fake. Like, why are you offering something for $3? Things like that. So I wouldn't, maybe hate was the wrong word, but like doubt as to like why the price point was where it was, I would say. Okay. I see someone saying this is great, so helpful. Awesome. Love it. Suzanne, what are the differences between your two groups? I'm not sure. I think I just answered this question. And when you say groups, I think you're talking about programs. So again, the accelerator is like access to me 16 to 20 times a month on Zoom with Q&A calls, mastermind trainings, and it's focused on building the go-to live video events like challenges, workshops, and your weekly live streams. So it covers like really in-depth experiences, right? So it's the ton of support and all that content that's there. The Video Skills Lab is 2 coaching calls a month, and we just cover live video, and there's still, I think, support. Like, it's very supportive compared to like other low ticket memberships. But like the video marketing accelerators for those who are like, all right, I'm serious about running like the go-to live events. And yeah, it's just a difference in some of that stuff. So I think, again, I hope this is answering your question. I think I just answered that for the second time. Okay. So let me know if you have any other questions on anything that I've said so far, any questions that are coming up at all. You can drop them in. I don't see any other questions right now, but repost them if I'm missing them. Okay, we're going to talk about the last piece, and that is hosting / retention for your membership, right? So let's talk about like the positives of the membership. Let's talk about the positives because there's been a lot of positives. Number one, the coaching calls are so much fun. Like, I can't emphasize how much I really enjoy like every single month showing up and getting to meet with the community and like building relationships with people. And it really is like very, very hands-on, which I like. One misconception that I think people have with low ticket memberships, or really low ticket offers in general too, is you just create it and you're done. Or I shouldn't even say low ticket. I should say stuff that's evergreen, right? Meaning like stuff that is pre-recorded on a platform. It's set and forget. It's not really set and forget, right? And that's one of the biggest learnings. So as I said to you at the beginning of this, like I just threw together content and was like, I'm going to grow with the audience, right? As I started to teach and show up for coaching calls, like there were things that I started to realize what gaps there were in this, right? And so one of them was, for example, as clear as you think you're being with people, you always need to be more clear. And so I was like, all right, I need to be like stupid clear on what people need to do when they come into this membership and have very clear objectives and not just sort of leave it up to chance. So I'm going to share my screen again because I'm going to show you one of the things I did. So one of the things that I added after a couple months was this get ready section. So in the get ready section, what I ended up doing was outlining 10 missions in the Video Skills Lab, right? Which are basically like 10 things, technically 11 if you do the pre-training, that you are doing as you go through this, right? So for example, like we have goal setting, we've got a confident on camera challenge, we help you create a path to cash, we do an audit of your social media. I was like, all right, here are the steps that you would take to actually have success in the Skills Lab. And this was only created because I realized that there was a gap in the content. But I think what most people do when they're thinking about memberships is they're like, oh, I just create it once and then I forget it. But something that I don't think people realize that I do is every single month, I'm thinking about refining the system. I'm thinking about what gaps there are. I'm thinking about what needs to be added, what needs to be tweaked, what needs to be changed to get people better results. Because I know if I'm result focused and people are, and it's easy and it's accessible and that they're having amazing success with it, they're going to share the offer and they're going to stay in the program. And it's just going to have a really incredible, what's the word? Momentum. There's incredible momentum that's built around that and success that ends up coming from that, right? So that's the first thing, is refining the process is something that is how you get your retention better and better every single month, right? And another thing too is like when you have a big audience, like there are hundreds of people right now that are in the Video Skills Lab, right? I think there's like, I don't remember exactly how many right now, but it's hundreds of people. And basically another big thing is making sure that you have really clear boundaries about what is okay and how people get help from you, and what is not okay and how they get help from you, what's okay to ask in terms of content, what's over the line. And so as the Video Skills Lab grew, like one of the things that would happen is people would privately message me questions or email me questions or ask questions that were like outside the scope of the program. And again, like a big thing, if you're thinking about low ticket too, and you want to be careful of the time that you spend, right? Like it's making sure that you're able to enforce those boundaries. So if someone's like private messaging me questions, then it's me directing them back to the right place to answer a question. Or if it's outside the scope, it's again making it clear like what's inside of it, and here's another resource for that. So if you're going to go in and build something low ticket and you think it's not going to take a lot of time, that could be the case running it every single month, but it's not going to be the case if you don't have those very clear boundaries on like what is and isn't okay. So let me look at my notes, make sure I hit everything. So I think the biggest learnings really are, I love the coaching calls. That's the best. Getting to know your members and build relationships has been the best. If you're going to build this, don't just build it and forget about it. It means refining the process, tweaking every single month until, you don't need such big tweaks. It's just small things here and there every once in a while, right? But that's how you're going to make sure you're keeping people happy, getting results, and just make sure you have really clear boundaries on like what isn't okay, how they're supposed to use the membership, get help, all of that good stuff. So this was a lot that I feel like I went through in, I don't even know how long it's been, 33 minutes. Yeah, it's been a lot, but I hope that it's been helpful giving you like some insight into like some of the biggest lessons and learnings. And I tried to be like, not just like, rah, rah, everything's great, but like serious, like things to consider when, you are building something like this. Yeah. So let me know what questions you have. I see there's a bunch. I'm going to answer them in, I'm going to go ahead and answer them in just a second. But before I do that, I just want to remind you all too, that like, if you're not in the Video Skills Lab, that if you're signing up for it, which you can use the link in the description of this video to do that. As you know, at this point, it's $9 a month, right? If you're signing up for it, you'll have until April 14th at 11:59 p.m. Central Time to claim the gift bag. So this is in honor of the Video Skills Lab turning 1 year old. And I've got this like little goodie bag filled with these 4 amazing, they're each around an hour, trainings that I've never published before. So again, there's a mindset training. There's a training on how to use guest interviews, a training on how a $3 Black Friday offer generated close to 20K, a training on which calls to action to use to convert. So this is, again, only available until the 14th, and then this is going to go away. Yeah. So I hope that listening to this, you got some value on the membership. If you want help with your video strategy, you can join, get the birthday gift bag as well. And just so you know, to actually claim it, all you're going to do is you're going to go to the sales page of the Video Skills Lab, you'll sign up. You'll see it says join for $9 a month. Once you sign up, shoot me an email that basically says, hey, I signed up. Can I grab the gift bag? And then I will send it your way and you'll be able to claim it. Cool. So let me know if you have questions on any of this. I'm going to go back to the question section. Okay, I see someone asking how many hours a month you spend working on the low ticket program, including coaching, prep, course creation. Okay, so now that I've done so much refining of it and tweaking of it, because it's been over these last 12 months, right? Like it really has started to kind of not require as much time. So here's what I do weekly. So once a week, we have a Q&A, right? Where basically I go live in the Video Skills Lab group and answer questions. So I review people's scripts. I answer their questions on video. Sometimes I review their videos. And that happens once a week. Usually it takes me like 15, 20 minutes to get through everybody's questions for the week. Sometimes more, sometimes less. So that's once a week, right? Aside from that, we have a weekly, we have a community where you can post in every single day, get feedback from the community. So usually I spend like 5-10 minutes a day at most, like just like responding to people's comments or, you know, responding to a post or two. So now what are we up to? Like 30 minutes, 40 minutes tops per week. And then we have 2 coaching calls a month, right? And so usually those are an hour each. So if we're adding that up in total, like that's around, I think that's around 4 hours, right? So like, again, it's really not a lot of time now because like I said, the coaching calls that I host now are the stuff that's filling the gaps in the content for the most part. So at this point now, like my only job is just to sell it. My only job is just to show up, support the members and to make sure they have a good experience and sell it. So like time-wise, it is truly, once you get set up, truly, truly awesome. This is a good question. Has it been financially worth it to do the low ticket offer? I waited a really long time to host this to create this because I was like, I don't want to be in survival mode, like working so hard for people to spend $9. Like that's so stupid, right? Like I just wanted to sell high ticket. I wanted to help people on a higher level. I'm always going to have some sort of high ticket option so people can really get that accelerated growth. But yeah, like right now it is financially viable for me. When I was selling the $3 version of it, like the first month or two, I think I was making like $300 or $400 a month when I first started it. But now that I've raised the price, now that we have hundreds of members that are inside of it, like as we go more and as it grows more and more, the more financially viable it becomes. And for me too, like I think about this as a long-term strategy, a long-term game. Like I'm not someone who needs this to grow to like 10,000 people for it to be like a financially viable strategy for me. So the answer is yes. It's definitely something now that's bringing in money, but good money, but it wasn't 12 months ago. So stick it out. Okay, I see Milan asking how many coaching calls for the low ticket offer. I assume you're asking how many coaching calls in the Video Skills Lab. So we do 2 Zoom coaching calls a month. So we do 1 Zoom coaching call that has like a theme to it, like it's a new training. And let me share my screen. Let me actually show you. So if you go into coaching calls and replays this is the Video Skills Lab platform. We have 2023 Zoom coaching calls. So what we do is we always have a Q&A, which is basically like an open, call where you can come and ask whatever questions you have once a month. And then we have 1 coaching call every single month that is, again, strategy. So for example, this one right here is that we did March. We talked about how to pre-sell or build a waiting list for your offer. In February, we talked strategies to boost video engagement. We did setting video marketing goals for 2023 in January. So we have 2. And this leads into like this next question. If you have hundreds of people in the group, how many show up to the coaching calls? This is a really good question. So it depends on the call. right? So like the strategy trainings, it really depends. But it never ends up being more than like 20 to 30 right now with the size. Sometimes people can't make it or want to watch the replays of the calls. But also because we have a live Q&A, like a live stream Q&A, like a lot of people's questions end up getting answered and they don't want to come on a Zoom coaching call for something like that too. Like they just get their questions answered there, which is how I'm, sort of counteracting and making sure we have time for everything, right? Okay, cool. Awesome. Let me know if that answers your question. Let's see. Suzanne asking, at what point do you recommend someone to offer a low ticket program like what you offer? This is a really good question. And I think I actually posted a response to this in the Video Marketing Hangout Facebook group because someone asked this in the Video Skills Lab and I responded. But anyway, 2 things you want to think about. Number 1, your cash flow goals. Like I said, I did not create this Video Skills Lab because I just wanted to focus on cash flow. I wanted to focus on, number 1, developing my high ticket program. I didn't want to create too many things at once. Once I really developed the high ticket program, had a really healthy cash flow where I wasn't in survival mode, then I was like, all right, then I want to move on to the next thing. So really 2 things to consider is 1, is your main high ticket offer, and I know Suzanne, you have one, is your main high ticket offer developed and you have that healthy cash flow you're looking for from it? And because again, if you're someone who's like, all right, I need to make 10K every single month or 5K a month, it's going to take a lot of people to do that with a $9 offer or $7 or $27 versus like if you have a high ticket program that's 2K, that's 5 people. So you got to think about like what in terms of cash flow makes sense. And that's what I really think about, Suzanne. Okay. Okay, someone asking, if there are too many people showing up to the coaching call, would you just add another call? No, I wouldn't. I would just buy the next version of Zoom. So right now, I think my Zoom allows up to like 100 people or 150 or something like that. So if too many people showed up, I would buy the next version of Zoom, and I would also make people submit questions ahead of time. I would not add another coaching call. Okay, a lot of good questions today. Okay, do people convert to your high price offerings from your low cost offerings? Yeah, I talked a little bit about this already. So the accelerator like has a cap on how many people are in it. Like it's very, very high support. So the group is like purposefully a smaller, more intimate feel type of group, right? So when I do have spots to fill, those people in the Video Skills Lab are the most likely to convert because they have spent weeks or months showing up to coaching calls, watching the content, binging the content. Like, yes. So yes, when I'm ready to fill spots, absolutely. Those are the go-to people that I look to then take some of those spots. Secondly, and I said this earlier, I give people free trials in the Video Skills Lab whenever I'm about to host a workshop or a challenge and they have signed up. It's like a thank you gift. And because I do that, before the workshop or challenge even starts, I have people who are literally, they've binged the content in the Skills Lab and they're like, all right, I've gone through this. I just want to get in the next step. I just want access to you every week. I just want to make sure that I can fast track and get this done. Like it pulls out people who are ready to fast track and it's pulled out people who are and nurtured people much faster than if I didn't. So whoever asked this, I can't see who it is. Let me know if this is helpful. I hope this whole live has been really helpful. And I tried to be really transparent with you all about like what this has been like, what the highs and lows have been. I hope that you got some good nuggets from it. I'd love to know what has been your takeaway from listening to this. What's been your biggest learning from listening to this? Yeah, let me know in the comments. I think that's it for today. Again, don't forget, if you are signing up for the Video Skills Lab. If you have not signed up, it's $9 a month. Again, you have the whole library of content, the coaching calls, the weekly live streams, the community, all building your profitable video strategy. And if you sign up by tomorrow, 4/14, you're also going to get that birthday gift bag. And if you're already in the Video Skills Lab, because I see we have a bunch of members either from the Video Skills Lab or from the accelerator too, you guys will get access to the gift bag. So if you want access to that gift bag, just shoot me an email, shoot me a message, and I will send you the link if you're already part of it, just as a thank you for being part of it. A lot of lessons, but like it truly is like one of my it's truly like one of my favorite things to run, and I love the relationships and community. So that's it for today. Loving all the learnings that I'm seeing in the comments. If you watch live with me here, you can drop me a hashtag live, or if you watch the replay, hashtag replay, and I will see y'all soon.